We assemble today to once again talk about climate change, an issue every country deals with the past few years. In this assembly, we formally welcome our two new members, the United States and China. Welcome. Your contributions to the Paris Agreements are significant and very much appreciated. So, all the other presents as we speak, it shows how each country in this room is committed in making the world better.
Good day, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Dwyn Allen. Well, we are here together because we believe that for all the challenges that we face, growing the threat of climate change could define the contours of this century more dramatically than any other challenge. One of the reasons I ran for this office was to make sure that America does its part to protect this planet for future generations. Over the past 7.5 years, we've transformed the United States into a global leader in the fight against climate change. But this is not a fight that any one country, no matter how powerful, can take alone. That's why last December's Paris Agreement was so important. Nearly 200 nations came together as a strong, enduring framework to set the world on a course to a low-carbon future.
Thank you, Sheena Contreras from United States. May country Brazil ratified its participation in the Paris Agreement on climate change, a significant step by Latin America's largest emitter of greenhouse gases that could spur other countries to move forward. Brazil emits about 25% of the world's carbon dioxide and other polluting gases. According to UN data, the Paris Agreement will enter into force once 55 countries representing at least 55% of global emissions have formally joined in. Using 2005 levels as the baseline, Brazil committed to cutting emissions of 37% by 2025 and an intended reduction of 43% by 2030.
Mr. President, Excellencies, colleagues, good morning. The Paris Agreement is a significant stride forward for several reasons. First, its 1.5 goal has defined the global ambition for climate actions. Paris has given us 1.5 to survive and to thrive. Second, the agreement enshrines human rights as its bedrock principle, including the rights of indigenous peoples, women, young people, and migrants, among others. We are very pleased that for the first time, we have enshrined climate justice in an international legally binding agreement. Third, the agreement ensures ecosystem integrity in climate actions, an element that we are pleased with. Fourth, the agreement ensures support in finance, technology, and capacity building for all adaptation and mitigation efforts. We would have wanted qualitative targets and more legally binding language, and we will continue to work for this as we implement the agreement. Lastly, we joined other developing countries in fighting for the inclusion of a loss and damage article in the agreement, separate from adaptation to secure the permanence of the Warsaw International Mechanism on Loss and Damage.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Andrea Amil from Philippines. In our case, our nominal gross domestic product grew at an average rate of 3.6% over the past 3 years, accompanied by increasing energy consumption, vehicle registration, and waste generation. We accounted for 1.8% of global greenhouse gas emission in 2013 and 1.3% in 2012. As a result, we rank 7 for global carbon dioxide emissions and 12 for total GHG emissions. Hence, we want to expand our scope to make sure that these treaties' objectives are met.
Now, just as I believe the Paris Agreement will ultimately prove to be a turning point for our planet, I believe that history will judge today's efforts as pivotal. Of course, the Paris Agreement alone won't solve the climate crisis, but it does establish an enduring framework that enables countries to ratchet down their carbon emissions over time, and to set more ambitious targets as technology advances. That means full implementation of this agreement will help delay or avoid some of the worst consequences of climate change and pave the way for more progress in the coming years.
Due to some circumstances, circumstances, Russia and United Kingdom can come. How unfortunate that some members are not present but will make it up later through video conference. Anyhow, Ms. Del Rosario, any inputs for today's session?
There is no hiding from climate change. It is real and it is everywhere. We cannot undo the last 10 years of inaction. What we can do is make it real and honest effort, today and every day, to protect the health of our environment and with it, the health of all Canadians.
Thank you, Ms. Del Rosario of Canada. So my country is one of the signatories of the Paris Agreement. Japan itself is the world's 7th largest carbon polluter, accounting for nearly 3% of global emissions. We invested heavily in fossil fuels and moved away from the nuclear energy since the 2011 Fukushima disaster. We actively participated in the negotiations and advocated that the new framework should be fair, effective, and applicable to all countries. Our country will formulate a global warming measure plan as early as possible and steadily implement measures for reducing emissions, as well as implement specific adaptation measures based on the recently finalized National Adaptation Plan. As per this, my country will provide approximately 1.3 trillion yen of public and private climate finance in 2020 to support developing countries and enhance its development of innovative technologies.
Since everyone has had their fair share regarding this matter, let us now carry on with any of country's plans or programs to address the issue of or if certain measures have already been taken.
My country is one of the major carbon polluter because we have so many factories and in the innovation of our technology. I suggest that we should inform the citizens of our country about the situation and how they can help in a simple way. Educate them about climate change and how it can affect the environment and the next generation of people. Before we can do it globally, we need to start in our own citizens. By this, we can also save the environment.
Yes, I do agree, Ms. Japan. So our government will come to build a history. $2.65 billion Canadian dollars over the next 5 years to support developing countries' transition to global economies and more effective tackle climate change. So both from navigation and adaptation to climate change. So I suggest that we buy energy efficient products, conserve energy at home and at work, plant trees, reduce, reuse, and recycle, and make wise transportation choices, like riding a bicycle instead of driving in a car.
I share the same sentiments with you, Ms. Ria, and I wish that we would be able to also follow those actions that you just mentioned. Now, China is one of the top contributors when it comes to carbon emission as well. We have been on the news where we are provided information that we have the most polluted air out of all the countries in the world. Hence, China plans to follow our set targets. We will lower carbon dioxide emissions, increase share and non-fossil fuels in primary energy consumption, and lastly, increase forest stocks.
Thank you, Ms. China.
In our country, we pledge to cut emissions 37% below BAB level by 2030 across all economic sectors is a part of its intended nationally determined contribution. We declare our intention to buy carbon credits from the international market to meet part of our 2030 target. We launch a national emissions trading scheme to promote cost-effective measures for reducing emissions. Our green building plan includes both mandatory and incentive-based measures aimed at improving energy efficiency in buildings, and we decided to strengthen the average emission standard for automobile from 140 grams per kilometer in 2015 to 97 grams per kilometer by 2020.
Thank you, Ms. Asenci. I acknowledge your country's side. The government of the Philippines will do everything to prevent climate change, especially after Typhoon Yolanda. Many of our countrymen in the Visayan region is badly affected by that said calamity, and we do not want this to happen again. Our present administration will finance our agencies like Pag-asa and other related agencies to have modern equipment that they can use to update and ensure the safety of the Filipino people. We will also make sure that we are in line with this agreement together with other countries and coordinate with them to strengthen its implementation. We all know that nature is human's greatest enemy. We cannot do anything to escape its vengeance, but we can do everything to prevent it. For this, we thank you, Paris. Merci beaucoup, France.
Thank you, Miss Philippines. Our country, Brazil, is concerned about the future. Everything we do today is not aimed at tomorrow, but rather at a future that preserves the living conditions of Brazilians. Starting to reduce deforestation in Amazon and increase in the use of energy from hydropower and other renewable resources, including wind, solar, and biomass.
Thank you, Miss Brazil. I admire your plan regarding with our agenda today. So our country, US, in order to plan to achieve that goal, our administration plans to use a mix of existing and proposed climate change policy that address the footprint of several sectors, including how much fuel heavy-duty vehicles consume.
Alright, I guess we're ready for the conference call.
The announcement today takes us one step closer towards realizing the agreement reached by the government in Paris. Climate change is a threat to the lives of some of the world's most vulnerable children. And by ratifying the Paris Agreement, the Prime Minister has made it clear that the United Kingdom remains a country that is committed to tackling this global challenge. UK looks forward to working with the government to ensure that our country continues to play a critical role in global process. Action on climate change should be guided by respect for children's rights as set out in the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, and consideration for the future generations will be most affected by its impacts. Driving forward ambitious and well-designed action on climate change can simultaneously reduce harmful air pollution, increase children's ability to survive and thrive in the face of extreme weather events, and contribute to eradicating poverty. What we are looking for is not difficult. It is doable, and therefore we should come together and do it. Thank you.
Distinguished Secretary General, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, allow me to greet you on behalf of the Russian Federation, Mr. Vladimir Putin. Climate change has become one of the gravest challenges humanity is facing. Caused by global warming, hurricanes, droughts, floods, and other anomalies are the source of economic damage. So with that, Russia has been contributing actively to addressing global warming. Our country is actually taking the lead. We stood before other world leaders with the overall goals of the talks: to lower carbon emission and save the planet. Russia has reduced its level of greenhouse gas emission by 40 billion tons from 1990 levels, an amount nearly equivalent to the entire global output of greenhouse gases today. We pledge that overall, Russia will cut greenhouse gas levels by 70% from those levels by 2030. In conclusion, I would like to once again underscore that the Russia welcomes signature of the Paris Agreement. We are ready for close cooperation with all partners in our common work to address global impacts of climate change.
Climate change is now affecting every country on every continent. It is disrupting national economies and affecting lives, costing people, communities, and countries dearly today and even tomorrow. I would like to thank each country for exerting such effort for making the world better for the next generation. Thank you everyone, and good day.